There aren't bigger steals than Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts in the third round, specifically fourth round. If Hurts falls to 4.1, he's kind of bouncing back and forth between 4.1 and like 3.10. You can actually see here that he's now in round number 4. Technically, he's in round 4. He's about 4.1 or 4.2. We did this third round board a little while ago, and I wanted to redo it because we are going to go through the ADP rounds. We're going to go through the ADP ranking shows. We're going to touch on the second, the third, the fourth round. We're going to do a bust ADP avoid show. We're going to take an ADP, a weekly ADP approach using Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, where Underdog will match up to 50% your first deposit all the way to $250 by just using that code Smitty. The link's in the description that inserts code Smitty for you, as is the link in the live chat that I just dropped. And we're looking at, again, third round movement. And I wanted to come in here and attack the third round. Then we're going to move on a weekly basis, doing different aspects of the ADP evaluation. But right now, I just can't stop talking about how advantageous it is to draft Josh Allen at 32 overall. How advantageous it is to take even Jalen Hurts at the end of the third round, but knowing he's in the fourth round right here. We have to talk about it. We're going to talk about it when we talk about the fourth round, guys. But Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen win you leagues. They win you leagues in the mid-third to early fourth round. Plain and simple. Doesn't matter how deep the QB class is. Doesn't matter how many players you can get later. Of course, I love drafting JD5 with Burrow. I love drafting AR5 with JD5. I love drafting Jordan Love with JD5. I love getting a combo of quarterbacks at a 1 QB, mind you, very, very late in my draft. I'm not saying I don't love Joe Burrow in round 6, 7. No one's saying you can't win. No one's saying you're going to execute on grabbing Allen and Hurts every single draft. You need those strategies to deploy when these guys get snagged. But right now, anyway, 7 times out of 10, I'm coming away with a Josh Allen, a Jalen Hurts, or a Patrick Mahomes in round 5. And I just continue to see it ignored. I continue to see the ADP value. Hurts has now dropped about 1 full draft slot since the last time we did this. He was about 36.8, I believe, the last time he was here, 36.4. Somewhere around that. Now he's 37.2. He's safely into the 4.1 to 4.2. And that just makes, and that's right here for those looking for that ADP. 37.2, Jalen Hurts wins the league. This is a third round show. This is about third rounders. And we're talking about a guy going in the fourth round. But I take him in the third with a smile. I take Josh Allen with a smile. If I want to go wide receiver, DK's looking good. Devontae Smith's looking good. Cooper Kupp's interesting. Josh Jacobs is an absolute steal. What are we doing here? The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
What are we doing here? How is Josh Jacobs now falling to 4.1? How are we here talking about 4.1 Josh Jacobs, 4.2 Jalen Hurts in my third round ADP show? I can't even get to the third rounders. I'm sitting there I'm looking at steals that win me a league in Josh Jacobs at 36.9 and Jalen Hurts at 37.2. ETN at 38. Maybe I want all my picks in the fourth round. Maybe I want all my picks in the third to fourth round. Have you ever thought about maybe we do a little draft pick trading, ladies and gentlemen, and we take our first rounder, our second rounder, and we turn these into multiple? So now you have your original third rounder, your original fourth rounder, original fourth rounder here. You get additional picks here. Has anybody thought about maybe I'll trade my first rounder and get a third, fourth, and fifth or something like that? Or trade my first rounder for a second and third, turn my second into a third and something. You know, like just continue to stockpile. Let's go through the motion here. You guys love my draft pick trading stuff. Let's take a look at what we could do. Let's just say we wanted to compile a whole bunch of studs that are in this third and fourth round territory. You trade your first rounder for a second and a third, and you give up something later. So now you don't have a first rounder. Now you trade your second to somebody else and you already got your fourth rounder here, okay, and you already got your original third rounder here. You already got your original second rounder here. Now you've got 2/3, 2 seconds, 1/4. Let's say you lose your, in this deal, you lost your, I don't know, 6th rounder. Let's just say you got rid of your 6th rounder in that trade. You could even get away with getting rid of your 7th rounder. But now let's say you trade your 2nd rounder just acquired for a 3rd rounder and a 4th rounder, and you give your 7th rounder or 6th rounder in that case. So let's say we gave 7th last time, we give 6th this time. Okay, so now we no longer have that pick. Let's say we get rid of our other 2nd round pick. Now we have no 2nd rounder, and we get somebody's. Let's trade our 5th, and let's get somebody's 3rd and 4th. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 picks in 2 rounds. now I smash Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf. I just go straight down the whole row. I might have even thrown in an extra pick there. I don't know. We're spitballing it. It's Mother's Day. I'm not probably in my right state of mind. Guys, draft pick trading's a very powerful tool if you're in a non-best ball format. And your boy is the king of draft pick trading. Everyone knows this. Everyone says, Smitty, do a draft pick trading show. Do one where you can get the 3 or 4 first, 2nd round picks. Let's say in round 1, you want to get multiple 2nd rounders. Okay, these are your original picks. You trade your 1st rounder for a 2nd and a 3rd, and you give up, like I said, maybe you're giving up your 6th rounder or 7th. I try and get away with giving 7th and 8th or something like that, but let's just say you did that. And now you trade your 4th and your 5th rounder to move up into the bottom of 2. Now you trade maybe your 3rd and 7th rounder to get something there. Okay, so now you got that. Now you have a slew of picks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in the top 27 overall. Now you can get a potential, we'll call it, I don't think you're getting MHJ in the 2nd round very often, but Garrett Wilson, okay? You're going to get probably a Kyron, probably an Achan, probably a, good Lord. I mean, you could take Laporta early. I don't even want to take Laporta early. I'm just trying to think of ways to not, you could take, at the end of this round, you could take maybe, I'm trying to think of the best wide receiver. Let's look at the ADP data. So wide receivers right around 24 overall. We're looking at Debo. We could do Debo here. Adams is going around 19. So we could throw, even though this pick may not be the last pick, it's how we're fitting him in. You could go Adams. You don't like Adams, you could go Debo. You don't like that, you could go with another running back. You could go Achan. Achan could almost go here, and then that gives you a better chance if you're taking the wide receiver early. You could still take Jacobs. You could probably get something like an Olave, or even if you just throw Debo in there. Okay, Debo, and then you get your Jalen Hurts or your Josh Allen. So Hurts or Josh Allen, whoever you prefer. I don't even care if you don't like, if you like Josh Allen more than Hurts or Hurts more than Josh Allen. This is a squad right there. That's a squad right there. I'm fine with that squad. Are you fine with that squad? Draft pick trading's fun. The best values in round 3. And again, I'm resetting the ADP show series because I took like a week and a half break and it changed. I don't want to like leave the 3rd round untapped. I'm going to go back to round 3. Then we're going to go to round 4. Probably do after round 4. We'll do an avoid list for ADP data. But I don't love Mike Evans at 24 overall, like breaching into round number 3, but tail end of round 2. I like him, but it's just a little high. Diggs, no thank you. DJ Moore, no thank you. Waddle, no thank you. Neighbors, hell no. I love Neighbors long term. I hate his redraft value. Laporta, I like this in the third round. I'm not scared of Laporta in the third round at all. Michael Pittman, no thank you. Not as my third drafted player. I like him. I respect him, but not my third drafted player. Henry, maybe in one league. Not in a lot. Allen, smash. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty.
Hard to pass it up. The only reason I pass it up is because I know Jalen Hurts is maybe in round number 4, and then Mahomes is in round 5. That's the only reason I pass up Josh Allen there. DK Metcalf.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I had no problem with DK in round 3, anywhere in round 3, mid round 3 on. Devontae Smith, anywhere in mid 3. I like him better in 4, I'll be honest, but he sometimes falls. He's 3 or 4 picks away from round 4. Cooper Kupp, kind of like him at the top of 4, a little bit better, but he's not bad. Josh Jacobs, absolutely smash, third round value.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I mean, that's cakewalk stuff. That's Mickey Mouse stuff. Jalen Hurts, bottom of 3, top of 4. You already know my answer.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Not to mention,
one small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Not to mention, again, for all the casuals that think you can't have like monster steals
Spaceman.
that are big names, you don't know this show very well. These are the 2 best values in all of fantasy football, minus maybe Gibbs at that 12-13 turn, and sometimes he does still fall in the 12-13 turn. So the 3 best values in all of fantasy are Jalen Hurts, 4.1. Shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be there at all. He has no business. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that he's at 4.1, to be honest. 5.1, embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. 5.1, steal. Gibbs, smash at 12. These are the best values. And now you cuff Corum and Kyren. And no, I'm not scared of Corum, but this duo is a 17-game lock for top 5 running backs because of McVay. It is about McVay as much as it's about Corum. Just the reality of the situation. You can't separate situation from player anyway. So it's a mindless waste of time to start arguing why these things are the way they are. But the combination of these 2 guys actually makes Kyren one of the absolute biggest steals in 2024. Could be the rushing leader in 2024. Could be the touchdown leader for running backs on the ground in 2024. Kyren Williams is a smash mid to late second round. And if he climbs into round 3, I'll be thanking all of you. I might just pass out if I see him breach the 3rd round. These are my steals. Gibbs is a smash. Hurts is a smash. Mahomes is a smash. You guys know my thoughts on the Saturn men.
The Saturn men.
Look at him. JD5. Look at him.
Step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Best quarterback by a mile in this rookie class. Top 5 quarterback in the making. Better than Lamar Jackson.
Spaceman.
In one calendar year, JD5 will be better than Lamar Jackson. MHJ, my number 1 dynasty wide receiver. Achan, let haters hate. He's amazing in the bottom of 2. Breece Hall's falling to the 10, 11, 12, 13. This is starting to become as valuable as Gibbs. And what's funny about this board is, there's a lot of big names on this board. And the casual Caleb, and especially the passer buyer at 2024 season's end, when they come back in and people start looking at the show and they go, what was your Saturn board again? And I show them and they go, oh, real bold Saturn board. The number 1 running back. Yeah, sure. You're really speaking like that now, aren't you, when he's going 6 and 7 overall? Oh, Breece Hall, everybody knew he had an amazing year in 2023. Oh, what a bold prediction. Then why is he going at 7, 8, 9, 10? Kyren, I mean, we all knew he was good, especially if you cuffed him to Corum. We knew it was McVay. Why is he going in the mid to late second round? JD5, get out of here if you're going to start talking like he's going to, in hindsight, be good. People doubting this man left and right, and people rip it on that I have him as the clear-cut QB1 in this rookie class. Jalen Hurts, oh, big bold prediction, Smitty. He's in the 4th round, 5th round. Absolute steal. The only guy not a steal on this board, ADP-wise, is Marvin Harrison Jr., but he's still going to earn it because he's an absolute stud and monster. Love me some Marvin Harrison Jr., and that Saturn board is absolutely magnificent. And then we just kind of meander on over to the Mars Man list.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Look at this group of gentlemen. Benson, London. Bowers could move to the Mars, the Moon Man.
Spinning aimlessly in space.
Bowers could technically go straight to the mid-season monster board, to be honest, just because I love Bowers, I really do, but he definitely could go. Let's go mid-season monster and let's open up a spot. Only because it's not like this doesn't have some tremendous value to have him over on this mid-season monster board, because it does. There's a lot of power involved in being a mid-season monster, because a mid-season monster is essentially saying you are a moon man. You're just going to maybe get going mid-season. So these are the mid-season monsters. So now
he's on a shuttle.
We got a spot open.
Mars men.
We got a spot open. 2 more spots for the Mars men. Moon men.
The moon men. Dropping loads.
Moon men, they look fantastic. I love our list, man. Brooks, Zamir, Keon Coleman, Baker. We were going to move Baker to the midseason monster, but F it. We're going in, all in Baker. Baker, absolute glory maker. And this kid, like, I don't know if people realize Baker. Baker had such an amazing. What's going on here with my? There we go. Baker. There we go. Baker. He had such an amazing year in college, and people don't even talk about some of the things that this guy brings to the table. And I think he's the better receiver of the 2 New England wide receivers, the rookies that got drafted. You got Polk and Baker. And Baker walks out of the 2023 college football season as the second wide receiver in all of college football 2023 in yards per catch. And the guy above him had 32 receptions, okay? I'm not saying that Baker had a crazy amount more because he had 52, but look at the yardage difference, The yardage difference was big. I like Lewis out of Troy, not saying he's a bad player or anything, but when you sort this and cherry pick it down to wide receivers that had 40-plus catches or more, which sometimes people do with that category, Baker's one. So, essentially out of the potential guys that could be number 1 or close to number 1 for their team, or being drafted as a rookie that could be the number 1 for their team eventually, or in the mix for it, he's the number 1 wide receiver out of all those prospects in yards per catch coming out of 2023 in college football. This guy's an absolute stud. So he is we're gonna move him to the midseason monsters, but we're leaving him on the Moon Man list. He is on the midseason monster as well, though. We're not taking him off that. Screw it. He's going on both. Baker deserves some love. Penix Jr. is also on the midseason monster list, and he's also in the moon.
Dropping loads in outer space.
Not a moon man, but kind of like a moon man, I don't know, supervisor from the moon level. Just long-term moon man. This is not a long-term list, but we had to put Penix Jr. in the moon just so he could participate. And then, of course, people wondering, hey, Smitty, you're going over all the lists right now. What about the Revenge Tour?
It's time for some revenge, baby. Revenge Tour, Revenge Tour. Revenge Tour, Revenge Tour.
Kyler, Revenge Tour. Bijan, Revenge Tour. Kyle Pitts, Revenge Tour. Cousins, London, Jacobs, Revenge Tour. You almost could put Penix Jr. here. Revenge for all the doubters through the entire draft process. Maybe Revenge Tour. Lists are looking pristine. Lists are looking promising. Lists are looking absolute glorious right now, if I have to say so myself. Feel like we got a real good one on our hands there, ladies and gentlemen. All of those lists look freaking glorious. Yeah, JD5, for anybody running their mouth about JD5, JD5 is the better pocket passer. He's the better gunslinger. He's got the better stats. He's got the better results. JD5 is the absolute glorious wide receiver or quarterback prospect in this 2024 quarterback class. And anybody that feels differently is more than welcome to call into the phone lines and tell me how I'm wrong, because I will shut down your debate. Caleb is not the best quarterback in this draft class. Caleb's not even the second best quarterback in this draft class. The phone lines are open. Dial into the phone lines, brought to you by The Attic. Also, make sure you get on over to Underdog using code Smitty and Underdog will double your or match your first deposit up to 50%. So up to $250. So 50% bonus offering on your first deposit up to $250, which is unreal. Because if you deposit $100 on your first deposit, they'll give you $50. You deposit $200, they'll give you $100. You deposit $300, they'll give you $150. You deposit $500, they'll give you $250. That's the up to part, right? So if you do $500, they give you $250. If you do $600, they still give you $250. It caps out at $250 as your half match. So all the way up to $500, they'll give you $250. So that's in the live chat. I'm going to drop the link one more time. But if you want to draft with us, we draft literally during the graveyard shifts on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. Hit that link. Link's been dropped. Link's in the description. Code Smitty gets it done. Code Smitty's on the screen. Phone lines are open. Dial into the phone lines brought to you by The Attic.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Third round ADP Steals is the topic of the moment. I think there's so much room to have a conversation about all these guys here. Honestly, I don't think there's a very good argument to make for any of the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Evans, Diggs, DJ Moore, Waddle, Neighbors. I don't like those guys at the top of round number 3. I don't think that's a smart third drafted player. One might argue DJ Moore was, but he's got a crowded wide receiver room now, so hard to really evaluate him. And Waddle, as much as I like Waddle in certain ways, he's not worth your third drafted player. You got taught that lesson long and hard last season when everyone kept taking him 13, 14, 15 overall, and I was losing my mind. Complete waste of a pick. I didn't even like him in the third round. And Diggs, are we really going here? Diggs, top of 3? No, thank you. Evans, old dog, consistent, has been doing it. I love him. But like top of 3, I don't think I can do that. Neighbors with Danny Dimes, I love his future, but no thank you. Laporta at this 28 overall is where it starts getting really interesting. And you say to yourself, dominate the tight end position. Positional advantage, third round pick. Not bad for the number 1 tight end in fantasy football. Don't love Pittman, like I said. Like Henry, but in one league, not in a lot. Love Josh Allen. Could almost put all my eggs in one basket to a degree in certain aspects. Not all over the place, but like, let's say I do a month of drafting on Underdog. I could do every draft with Josh Allen at that spot. Then next month, do something different. My brute force drafting on Underdog best ball approach. DK Metcalf, love that value. Cooper Kupp, like the value, don't love the value. Jacobs, 36.9, love it. Hurts, smash. ETN, smash. Third round's pretty clear cut. I don't think there's a whole lot, in my opinion, that's super like on the fence. It's like I either love the pick, and then Henry's like I kind of like it because of his age, but everything else is like I love it, you know? Like even Kupp at 30, at 35, like it's getting to the point where he gets into the fourth round. I love it. You know, I don't even like kind of waver on it. I love it. Kupp at 35 is almost there. Like I'm totally on board that one. Devontae Smith, DK, totally on board. Josh Allen, totally on board. Laporta, totally on board. This is a great round. This is a great round to draft in. If you could grab 3 of those guys, like I said, in a draft pick trading type scenario, this is a great way to potentially trade your picks and get into multiple draft picks. If you're not in best ball and you're doing regular fantasy football draft pick trading, then it's a great way to accumulate talent in these very, very, I think, plentiful rounds right there. There's so much talent that you could just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trade your first rounder, trade your fourth rounder, trade your fifth rounder, trade your sixth rounder, maybe even trade your seventh rounder to get all of these picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get 6 picks, or maybe you're just getting 5. 5 picks in the top, 38 overall is a way to go. Second round is awesome. Third round is awesome. There's really no, like, you could technically say too, Smitty, I kind of like the Mahomes value, so maybe you get 2 fourth round picks in your draft pick trading and you forego the third round and do some seconds. Maybe you get let's say you go Kyron here, You can get three picks in the top 4 rounds that way. You get let's say you get let's see you get lucky and MHJ falls to the 13 pick. MHJ, Kyren, and Achane. And then you get Mahomey and Kelsey. That's fantastic. MHJ, Kyren, Achane, Mahomes, Kelsey. Love that. I love that. You want to go different players there? Go different players there. I mean, you could just literally mix this all up. What I do love a whole hell of a lot is trading the mid first rounder down. So like if I get a pick here, I love Bijan. I get a pick here, I love Hall. I love Gibbs. Gibbs and Hall make it hard to get out of this territory here because their values are amazing. So, but what I do love is when you're sitting here in McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill and those guys you're contemplating, if you could move down into the bottom of round 1 and take Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think is capable of being number 1, number 2, number 3 overall. I really, truly do. And you can move this 3rd rounder into round 2. And now you've got 2 second rounders. You no longer have a 3rd, but it's in round 2. So you technically do. And you still have this pick. So now you got Gibbs, you got Kyren, you got Achane. You know, or if you want to go wide receiver, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, and then you can pick whatever player you want there. I don't even mind going the early Josh Allen route if you want. But again, with having this 5th rounder and 4th rounder capable of getting you a Kelsey and Mahomes, this is fantastic. My whole point being, move this top of round 1 down to get Gibbs and gain that movement up. 4th rounder to the top of 3, 3rd rounder into the bottom of the 2. Like that's what you can do when you're sitting there going, I love Gibbs at 12, 11, 10 as much as I love CMC at 1. Why not gain something out of it? Why not gain something out of it? Why not trade down from this 1.1 to get Gibbs here and gain something massive? 3rd to 2nd. Why? Somebody explain it to me. Phone lines are open. Dial in, dial in, dial in, dial in. 3rd round ADP is the conversation at hand. Happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers out there. Or if you have a mother, tell your mother Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Bruce.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
There you go. Penix won't touch the field this year. It's not up to you. Air. I hate to break it to you, but you have no bearing on that. It all comes out of Cousins' health, bro. But Penix Jr. is looking so good right now. If that guy gets out there, it's unfortunately going to be tough for Cousins to get the job back. But either way, they've got the best backup in the National Football League. And honestly, I hope Cousins is so good that we don't ever see him. Because Penix Jr. time will come, but I kind of want it to be now. Not now because of injury, but just because I love the guy so much, and I think he's the better long-term option if you give him some time to get his feet wet. Like, probably, who knows? I mean, he could even be as good out of the gate because Cousins is, 36 is very possible. But, Penix Jr. to the moon. I love when people say he's not going to play. Like, you don't know that. It all comes down to health. It all comes down to a 36-year-old guy coming back from an Achilles tear. Same concerns I have for Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'm holding my breath because guess what? We got Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson tied to this man. And as much as I love him, I cannot for the life of me understand why the Jets didn't go after Fields or at least Joe Milton. I like Jordan Travis a lot. I just don't know how I feel about him compared to those two guys as backup prospects. Fields was a slam dunk. If Fields would have went to New York to back up Aaron Rodgers and Penix stayed in Atlanta to back up Cousins, and he is the backup, make no mistake about it, to start the year, then all of our hopes and dreams, all of our concerns answered. We sleep like babies. Right now, we're sleeping with one eye open still because we do have to worry about Aaron Rodgers. We don't have to worry about that in Atlanta. That's why I don't understand why people complain about it. It's ridiculous. Bruce to the moon. Tell Miss Robeson happy Mother's Day. All it takes is one cousin's calf strain. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he has any kind of like limping injury, he's walking around, he's got some tightness, like you got to shut it down for a little bit of time, and then Penix is out there throwing missiles. Not to mention, like, God, he looks good right now. Penix is throwing dimes all over the place. And I know it's early. I know they're in shorts, but there are quarterbacks not throwing dimes, And so, you take it for what it is. Jordan Travis can get recovery fully. He will be an amazing player, says Brandon. We like him. It's definitely a good move. They definitely backed him up, which is good. Let's see here. Glenn says JD5 hasn't stepped a foot onto the NFL, and they're saying he's better than Lamar. Lamar is a great leader. JD5 has still to prove himself. Hey, Glenn, guess what? I'm going to say it for you, okay? You might say that he hasn't stepped on the field. We got to slow down. I'm going to say no. I refuse. In fact, I'm going to say JD5 to the moon, Glenn. JD5 to Saturn, Glenn. JD5, I will say it. If you won't say it, if other people aren't bold enough or have the balls to say it, he will be better than Lamar Jackson. He's a better passer than Lamar. He's coming out as a much better prospect passing the football, and he's just as good a runner. Guy ran for 10 touchdowns and 1134 on the ground. Best pocket passer in the last decade to come out of college. He is a gunslinging pocket passer. He is everything that Lamar Jackson is not in the passing game, and he's everything Lamar is running the football. And I will say it. I don't need to wait. Everyone tells me I need to wait. Let's let him step on the field. No, how about we don't? How about we send him to Saturn now before he takes a single snap? How about that? I'll do it. You don't need to do it. I'll do it. Penix. The Penix hates, it's still out there. Tell Miss Smitty happy Mother's Day. We will do, Terry. Appreciate you dropping the $2 holler. My boy Terry the monster. Can I send Justin Herbert to the moon?
You've just been Smitty Disapproved.
No, we cannot. Sorry, pal. This ADP day is fun to look at. The fourth round show is going to be interesting. If I go to 36 and beyond, wow, it just gets crazy. So it goes Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is like the beginning of the fourth round ADP, which I don't like at all. He's climbing. Remember when we were talking about it earlier, he's in the fifth round? He's climbing to the fourth round. That's insane. I like Zay Flowers a lot. He was a moon man last year. We love him, but I'm not taking him at the near third round value. Like he's the top of round 4. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. T. Higgins. I like T. I even put on my stories. There's T. Higgins playing basketball. It's unbelievable. I have so much more respect for that guy's athletic ability when I saw him play ball. It's on my Instagram stories. Guy's dunking, doing tomahawk slams from the free throw line. Like that guy's absolutely athletic. Beyond what I ever gave him. Jeez. But I don't know that I love him. Love him at the top of 4. He's not horrible at the top of 4. Tank Dell. We'll get into this, but Tank Dell, as far as the ADP data, let me go back over to 36 overall. Okay, so 36 overall. So Josh Jacobs is breaching round 4. Hurts, ETN, Travis Kelce, Zay Flowers. I'm sorry, Zay Flowers wasn't the top. He was like around 5 or 6. Higgins, Lamar, Tank Dell, McBride, Mahomes. Mahomes is getting into round 4 instead of round 5 again, which is interesting because, and we didn't know how this is going to shake out, but I thought for sure Mahomes would likely stay where he was or fall with the new Rashee Rice news, but it's just like he hasn't dropped. Kincaid, Stroud, Pickens, Pacheco, all really good fourth rounders, but like the biggest steals kind of feel like Mahomes still, and I'd take him in the fourth round gladly. Hurts and Kelsey and ETN. But we'll get to that. Tank Dell's good in the 4th round. Remember when Tank Dell was in the bottom of round 2 going into the top of round 3, and we're like, oh my God, like when's the dust going to settle on this guy? And now he's in the 4th round. Handsomely in the 4th round, heading toward the 5th round. Tank Dell, after the shooting, which we're still awaiting some details on, to be frank, but he's definitely dropping, and I think he'll go into the 5th round. So Tank Dell in round 5 is pretty damn good. I'm excited about that. Okay. I know it's Mother's Day. A lot of you guys don't have the ability to call in. You're probably listening in your earbud. You're probably getting screamed at right now. It's Mother's Day. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. My bad on impeding on that. Hit the thumb up button. We're probably going to not stay too long. I just wanted to do a show for you guys today. Smash that thumb up button on the way out the door.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but Star and Marvin will answer the call. They're Kyler and Marvin.
Hi, my name is B. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the 3rd, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a whole of a job. A whole of a job. A whole of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
I'll see you all later. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. Appreciate you. Hit that underdog link that I've dropped in the chat several times. There it is one more time. We'll be drafting potentially tonight. I don't know about it on Mother's Day. I'll try and come back. But hit that link so you're prepared for the next draft. Appreciate every single one of you. Wouldn't be here without you, so you guys know how much you mean to me. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I'll see you probably tonight, but if not, definitely tomorrow several times. Deuces.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.